Welcome back to my channel today. I have my coffee with me today. Let me just take a sip of my coffee. I'll be doing it while I'm talking. It's a nice mug given to me by a close friend. Get it? Badass. Anyway, welcome back to my channel today. Today we're going to talk about don't expect tips, just let them happen. When you start doing these apps, and if you're lucky to have DoorDash, Grubhub, Walmart, Sparks, all combined, or even if you're just doing DoorDash by itself, they're always going to be able to leave you tips for everything that you do. Now, one thing I want to be able to explain to you about tips, okay? They're very different on each of the platforms, okay? Let's start basically with Walmart Sparks. Walmart Sparks, believe it or not, has a 24-hour time frame for customers to actually remove the tips. So even if you have something that's $25 for 3 miles, which is great, good dollar per mile ratio, in 24 hours they can actually remove the difference of that tip if they choose to. I know it's very, very frustrating. It's not easy, especially when you look at that big number and you're starting to think, oh, wow, okay, I'm running this. I do everything the right way. I get the packages to the customer's house without no problem. I did everything right. But yes, you have that 24 hours to actually remove the tips. Now, that's what you would normally consider tip baiting, where they actually try to give you a high amount of money to actually run that delivery, and then they take it away from you. They also do that. It's also very nefarious on Instacart as well too. So how do you deal with something like that? Now on DoorDash, they don't do that. So whenever you actually see the amount, if it's say $15 for 3 miles, that's good. You're getting that amount of money. Don't ask me why they're different among all the platforms. That's just the way it is. So how do we handle something like this? How do we actually deal with something, again, that we cannot control, which is very infuriating? The best way to actually look at it is don't expect the tips. Just go based on the dollar per mile ratio. When you're out there, you have to have a level of faith. You have to have a level of belief. Remember how I told you that your emotions play a big part in making the day count. Now, if I go out there with a great attitude, and if I know exactly what markets I'm working, I have all the apps on at full strength, and I'm working my hours. Remember, you got to work the hours for all those high levels of uncertainty, for anything that could possibly happen, okay? And it will happen. It's never a smooth process. Remember, every delivery is different, okay? And they're all coming in every hour on the hour. So my bet is, and your bet as well too, is when you see one of those high price orders and the dollar per mile ratio is good, just take it. Just take it in faith. Don't sit there and try to analyze it. Don't sit there and get into analysis paralysis. I go based on dollar per mile ratio. If it's $15 for 7 miles, if it's $30 for 5 miles, whatever that number is, if the miles are very low, you grab it, you take it. You have to keep moving, okay? If you try to sit there wonder if this person is going to tip bait me or if this order is too good to be true, yes, some orders are going to be too good to be true. But the bottom line is you don't know. You have no idea. They also have done that on Uber Eats as well too, where they actually tip bait as well too on Uber Eats. I'm having pumpkin coffee because it's Halloween, so, well, Halloween coming up. But it tastes good too. Anyway, so the best thing to do is to always just grab the delivery. If your goal is $200 a day, you know that you got to do your best to get that $200 within the day. If you're working 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, just keep going. Do not worry about tip baiting. Do not worry if they're going to tip bait. Get that out of your head. Take the order, if it's a good dollar per mile ratio, and run it. There are certain things you cannot control. And you definitely cannot control somebody screwing you over or tip baiting you. If there's one thing that I've always worked on that's worked really well with me is if the dollar per mile ratio is very good, I take it without question. And at the end, when I'm going to get paid, I have faith I'm going to get paid on that order. I'm not going to sit there and look at every single order to see if I'm getting tip baited. It's just too much work. I want there to be a flow. It's enough that I have to push myself to get to $200 or $300 a day. That alone is a lot of energy. But to sit there and scrutinize every single delivery, no. I leave it up to faith and God. Whatever faith you have, you leave it up to that. You take action, you grab that delivery, you run that delivery, and hope to God that everything turns out very well. That's the best that you can do. The best that you can do. Remember, you're out there alone by yourself. You're a solopreneur, an independent contractor. You are by yourself. You have to be able to maintain a level of flow. If you start at 10 in the morning and you end at 8 o'clock at night, those are very, very long hours. So you got to have a level of flow. You got to have a level of faith. You got to have a level of belief that that order you're taking is going to work out. And in the end, if you get tip baited, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do. You can't fight City Hall. Bottom line, I believe that there is a percentage, and a very, very small percentage of people that actually do that. It's not everybody. Not everybody's bad, okay? Not everybody's bad. But I can't tell who those people are that are actually going to do it. So I just go out. If I find the right deliveries and the miles are very low and the dollar amounts are very high, those are the ones that I concentrate on. And I focus on those. Basically, my typical day when I'm working is I have all my apps on. I go into a specific market that I know is very heavily concentrated with all these apps. And I just start at a certain time and I end at a certain time. I stay away from shop orders because I know that there's enough of a challenge with what I'm doing. I don't need to add that extra layer of a challenge to make about the same amount of money. Okay, so I stay away from shop orders. I'm going to go for curbside pickups with Walmart Sparks, where they shop for me and they bring the order to my car and I pack it in my car. I work smarter, I don't work harder. There's enough challenges. I don't need any more layers of challenges just to make the same pay. Doesn't make sense. At least to me it doesn't. Maybe other people are good at shopping. Maybe other people are great at getting out of their cars, walking down the aisles. God bless you. But see, I level that off by making sure that I have DoorDash and Grubhub on. This way, if it's slow, I use those too. Boom. Now, tip baiting doesn't really happen at all on DoorDash or Grubhub, so that God bless that, thank God. Don't ask me why. But it definitely does happen on Walmart Sparks, but I don't think about it. I just keep going. Just keep going. It doesn't happen on every order. And you got to get it out of your head. You have to keep a flow going to make sure you work that day, you end that day. And you stay positive on the road. That's the way you got to be. I hate to say and I hate to admit it, but negative emotions are not going to help you in this business. They're just not. They're just not. Worrying, complaining, anger. These emotions are going to throw you off your game, especially if you're in a moving vehicle. You better be good at not having road rage because you're going to deal a lot with that on the road, okay? You have to be able to control your emotions to keep your emotions in check. I always stay positive and knowing full well that I'm going to get that order and I'm going to make that money. And at the end of the week, if I see the pay difference, oh well, maybe next following week I'll get it. That's all. I just keep going. I just keep going. I don't stop. That's the most important thing you have to do. Just keep going. Keep your positive emotions at the forefront. your freedom, your independence, your flexibility, your happiness, and knowing full well that you have something that you can turn on, go out there and make money and turn it off when you want to, being your own boss. There's always a price for everything that you have. You're not going to get everything perfect. But the good thing is that you have the ability to be able to go out there and generate an income on the instant, on the fly, at will, anytime you want. And if you want to go for $200, if you want to work the entire day, if you want to work 12 hours or 13 hours, you can do that. If you have the sustainability, the mental attitude to be able to do it. By the way, I use most of my dead time to be able to film these videos now that I'm starting my YouTube content creation journey. And so far, I'm on path for that. And I appreciate you to subscribe to my channel for any tips and tricks on what I can bring to you. Also, comment down in the section below if you have any questions that may come up. I will more than likely be able to get back to you as soon as possible. I am not customer service. I'm just a regular person, just like you, that is doing this on the road and has been doing it for quite some time. And I have 6 years of experience to boot. Okay, so I kind of have my way or streetwise of how to be able to handle this and do this the right way. So all I can honestly say is do not worry about tip baiting. Get that out of your head. Work the dollar per mile ratio. If the dollar amount is higher than the miles, $14, 7 miles. $15, 7 miles. $20, 10 miles. That's what I look at. And if the tip is in there, great. And if it's not in there, I don't care. I just keep going. Okay? You just keep going. You keep going. You know the number that you have to make every single day. Keep that number at the forefront. Keep going. Don't stop. And by the end of the week, whether it's 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, or maybe you're just doing this part-time, you'll see that income coming in. And you'll be fine. I guarantee you, you'll be fine. Keep your positive emotions at the forefront and just keep going. Make sure you have good work-life balance so you're not burning yourself out. And the tips will come. And you will do great. You have a great day. I hope this video gave you some sense of value and satisfaction. And I'll keep coming up with new ones each day or every day if I can while I'm on that road. Got so much content that I can share with you. And listen, if some of it sounds redundant, repetition is the mother of skill, okay? If this was a smooth system, it would be great, but it's not. So you'll see my challenges on the road because obviously you're going to encounter them as well too. And I'll be there with you. Have a great day.